If you're wondering who voted for Zohran Mamdani in New York, this is helpful here. This is pretty much illustrative of all the people that voted for Zohran Mamdani right here, all of them. So they seem nice. Let's hear Zohran here. Mamdani's speech wasn't a victory address. It was a manifesto.
If anyone can show a nation betrayed by Donald Trump how to defeat him, it is the city that gave rise to him. And if there is any way to terrify a despot, it is by dismantling the very conditions that allowed him to accumulate power.
So dismantling the conditions that allowed him to accumulate power. So I guess capitalism and constitutional republic. I'm not being facetious. I think that's what he means.
This is not only how we stop Trump, it's how we stop the next one.
Well, wait a second. If he's like this despot, right, who's just like this authoritarian, well, how would you get rid of him exactly? Like you wouldn't be able to. That's the thing. You'd have to have like a revolution or something, right? I don't think he's talking about that. I mean, because here's the thing. They know very well that he's not actually a despot, right? They know very well that, there's going to be elections, all of this. It's just the language that they use for their smooth-brained followers.
Because the Donald Trumps of our city have grown far too comfortable taking advantage of their tenants.
All the Donald Trumps of the city. Everybody you don't like is a Donald Trump now. That's it. It's just all a bunch of Donald Trumps. It's a half a country worth of Donald Trumps. So, he's not kind of like so smiley and cutesy anymore all of a sudden, is he? Maybe the real Zohran's coming out now. I don't think that Trump is too worried, though. Let's see what Trump had to say about him. This was posted by Clandestine.
On November 5th, 2024, the American people reclaimed our government. We restored our sovereignty. We lost a little bit of sovereignty last night in New York, but we'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. We rescued our economy, regained our liberty, and together we saved our country. On November...
He doesn't sound too worried about Zohran. I think he's faced worse. What's this one here? Let's see. This was Charlie Kirk posted this. This was July 1st. So this is well before Zohran became the mayor of New York. But let's hear this.
Your beloved New York City may well be led by a communist soon, Zohran Mamdani, who in his nomination speech said he will defy ICE and will not allow ICE to arrest criminal aliens in New York City. Your message to communist Zohran Mamdani?
Well, then we'll have to arrest him. Look, we don't need a communist in this country, but if we have one, I'm going to be watching over him very carefully on behalf of the nation.
President.
Yeah, I mean, there's things that they can do on the federal side, cutting off federal funds, right? That's a thing that can be done. We have to show, if we're doing Zohran Mamdani, we have to do the real commie stuff just to show that we know what we're talking about when we call him a commie.
If there was any system that could guarantee each person housing, whether you call it the abolition of private property or you call it, just a statewide housing guarantee.
Abolition of private property. So, yeah, really commie. That's super commie. Super extra commie. Here we go. This is the ultimate. Seizing the means of production.
Whether it's BDS, right? Or whether it's the end goal of seizing the means of production.
The end goal of seizing the means of production with a big smile. He's thrilled about that. I kind of feel like he's a commie. I kind of feel like he's a bit of a commie. Like a lot of a commie, actually. And let's hear what else he has to say, because he had lots to say. Let's see. This is posted by Tom Elliott. Zohran Mamdani, who is definitely not a communist, starts his victory speech by quoting a communist. Let's take a look.
The sun may have set over our city this evening, but as Eugene Debs once said, I can see the dawn of a better day for humanity.
Eugene Debs, who's that? Let's see. Eugene V. Debs. Let's see. This is Marxists.org. Marxists.org. Huh. The Marxist Internet Archive is proudly bearing the Eugene V. Debs Internet Archive, started by Socialist Party member John Metz in July of 2001. 100th anniversary. So this is this is over 20 years old. But in any case, he's on the Marxist Writers Internet Archive. So pretty Marxist. I mean, Socialist Party of America. He's certainly communist adjacent at the very least. Okay. The Marxists seem to like him a lot. A lot. They love him. All right. So, yeah, a lot of commie going on around here. Well, around there. Let's see. From Thomas Hearn, Zohran Mamdani's victory speech was reminiscent of something you would expect to hear from a dictator. Like Fidel Castro, not the mayor of New York City, they always accuse their enemies of being what they are. It's like an ironclad rule for the commies.
We will prove that there is no problem too large for government to solve and no concern too small for it to care about. We will prove that there is no problem too large for government to solve and no concern too small for it to care about.
So just everything in your life, the government is going to solve or care about. Got to solve every problem. Now, the only thing is they need to completely control your life to do that. So unfortunately, you're going to have to give them utter and complete control over yourself. Right. And of course, that's going to include, that pesky, those pesky First, Second Amendment, those types of things that could get in the way of them controlling everything to help you, right? To fix everything for you. When will humanity learn? Maybe never. But all I can tell you is this: Zohran Mamdani is obviously a Nazi. Now, National Socialist, and he's an open socialist, right? So it shouldn't really be surprising. Let's take a look. He's doing Nazi salutes.
Thank you.
Nazi salute.
Do it again. Do it again.
Nazi salute.
Zohran Mamdani making history.
Nazi salute.
Twice. Ecstatic crowd of supporters saying we have toppled a political dynasty.
3 Nazi salutes.
On a politics that.
Well, we know from AOC and others at MSNBC that is obviously, it can be nothing other than a Nazi salute. We know that when Elon Musk did that, they informed us. They said, no, that's definitely a Nazi salute. He's definitely a Nazi. So Zohran, there we go. These are the rules. We didn't make up these rules. Zohran knows that he has to be a Nazi, a National Socialist, because Nazis were left wing, by the way, right? Just in case there's any confusion about this. National Socialists. So, that should do him in right there. It's unbelievable. The Washington Post editorial board opinion piece here. Zohran Mamdani drops the mask. The mayor-elect divides New Yorkers into two groups. The mayor-elect divides New Yorkers into two groups, the oppressed and the oppressors. Yes, he's a communist. He's the left. Yes, this is the modern left now. It's all about oppressed and oppressor dynamics in everything. Hold on. All right. A new era of class warfare has begun in New York. Yeah, well, he wants to charge higher property taxes to white people. That's one of his things. And no one is more excited than Generalissimo Zohran Mamdani. Is this the Washington Post? Is this the Washington Post? They're calling him Generalissimo? Unbelievable. But I mean, it's good. Witness the mayor-elect's change of character since his Tuesday election victory. Mamdani ran an upbeat campaign with a nice guy demeanor and perpetual smile papering over a long history of divisive and demagogic statements. Yes, he played dumb basically during the election. Just the nice guy with good intentions, which is how they always are, to trick, gullible, historically illiterate people. New Yorkers periodically checking in on politics could understandably believe that he simply wanted to bring the city together and make it more affordable with crazy ideas that have never worked. That interpretation became much harder after his victory speech. Across 23 angry minutes, laced with identity politics and seething with resentment, Mamdani abandoned his cool disposition and made clear that his view of politics isn't about unity. It isn't about letting people build better lives for themselves. It is about identifying class enemies, from landlords who take advantage of tenants to the bosses who exploit workers and then crushing them. His goal is not to increase wealth, but to dole it out to favored groups. The word growth didn't appear in the speech, but President Donald Trump garnered 8 mentions. Yes, he went on about just, well, they all do. They all, even in Canada, the leftist politicians go on about Trump endlessly. He's like their eternal boogeyman. So it tells you something when even the Washington Post is dropping this, right? Calling him Generalissimo. Wow. I mean, it's a bit of sanity. It's maybe a bit too late, though, because he's mayor. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that. Please like, share, and subscribe. Subscribing really helps me out. I thank you for that. I will see you next time.